Oh, hello there. How are you? Excuse me. And welcome to the Director's Cut. Today we'll be studying stand-up comedy teams. We'll be starting off with Milton Berle and Arnold Stang. Now you may think of Milton Berle as a comedian in his own right that always worked alone, but in fact he was an exquisite comedian in all forms. Here you'll see him with one of the people that were on his show, Arnold Stang. And you'll see them speak back and forth together in their comedy routine without a wasted second between their speaking. So one person cuts right into another in something that's really interesting to watch. You'll see their absolutely perfect timing as they do this little routine. And it's probably a team that they made up just for television, so it's not something that they rehearsed to any large extent. Berle came out of vaudeville, and we've seen other vaudeville comedians like Burns and Allen. But today we'll really be studying teams that came about after the second performers you see, Martin and Lewis, hit in the 1950s. Martin and Lewis were extremely popular. All over the nation people were talking about them. They later became movie stars in their own right. They split apart. Dean Martin had a television show. He made many successful movies, as did Jerry Lewis. But they changed comedy. This was a time of nightclubs, of floor shows, of Las Vegas coming into its own, and of large hotels that had rooms where performers appeared. So it's really a different kind of show business. After we see a little clip from Martin and Lewis's television show, then we'll watch a team named Allen and Rossi. And if you've ever seen them, I'm sure they'll be familiar to you once you see them come on stage. They copied Martin and Lewis to a large extent, but they were very, very popular in the 1960s. They made hundreds of television appearances, and I have them on tape several times. I picked this one out from the Hollywood Palace, which I think you'll enjoy. We'll also see comedy teams that aren't so well known to you. There's one that does a Shakespearean routine that I think is really fascinating, and I don't ever remember seeing them during this period. We also have Stiller and Meara, the parents of Ben Stiller, who's making movies today. And we have other comedy teams that sort of got into the sketch comedy that later gave way to Second City and Saturday Night Live and other shows of that type. We'll be finishing up with two of my favorite comedy duos. One is Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner in The 2,000-Year-Old Man. They were extremely popular with these routines and had many comedy records that people listened to. After we see them, we'll see my favorite comedy team, which is Rowan and Martin. You probably know them from the Rowan and Martin Laugh-In television show, but here you'll see them on the Hollywood Palace in one of their stock routines, and they loved working in nightclubs, and they were just really excellent as a comedy team, and certainly one of my favorites. Anyway, we have several different comedy teams to show you, and I hope you enjoy them all. Thank you.
There he is, Howdy Doody's brother off duty.
The big star is giving a big party for all the little people who slaved for him all year.
That's right, that's right.
So delightful.
Thank you.
So delectable.
Yeah.
So deductible.
I was...